Hi, today I'm in Greenfield, Ohio to tell you about a very unusual haunting that took place here in 1881. The ghost that plagued this village that year wasn't your typical specter. It didn't cause stones to rain down on people's houses or plates to shatter in their cupboards. It wasn't coming into people's rooms in the dead of night and standing noiselessly at the foot of their beds. It didn't even rattle its chains and moan and scare off prospective real estate dealers from a really good deal. No, this ghost elicited its screams by kissing fellas. Typically, this would be young men who were on their way to visit their girlfriends after dark at night, and after being attacked, they'd run home terrified, and the ladies would be left sitting at their own houses for a date that never happened. But the ghost didn't restrict itself just to coupled fellows, though. There was an assistant pastor here who got kissed one night, and shock was so great to his nervous system that the doctors feared it would prove fatal. He did end up making a complete recovery, though. Now, there was another man who had never been kissed before, and the ghost laid 3 wet ones on him in a row, and that was such an affront to his modesty that they found him lying insensible upon the pavement. Another time, the ghost actually kissed a married man within eyeshot of his wife's sleeping chambers, and fortunately she didn't see this happen, but the neighbors found the guy laying in the snow uttering incomprehensible moans, so maybe he enjoyed it. Now, the ghost was thought to be the spirit of a school teacher who had come here from New England years before and died without ever having found love. Aside from that circumstance, they also thought it was her because the physical descriptions were similar between the ghost and the living person. They were both very tall and very thin. It was said that the ghost was so thin, in fact, that whenever any of its edges were presented with a light source, it still couldn't cast a shadow. Now, business had to continue as normal, ghost or not, around town, so eventually young men devised a plan to avoid being kissed by the ghosts, and that was to tightly bind their mouths with quilting, so something like one of these. Now, we don't have ghosts plaguing our society today quite as much as we did back then, but still, I think if you try something like this anytime you leave the house, it might be a good way to prevent that phantom virus from giving you a smooch, huh? Anyway, stay safe, stay well. Thank you for listening, and hope you have a good day.